So in July 2019, my partner and I, Tris, we lost our business. We were devastated because we'd been working on that for 10 years. And it was a really horrible time. And we thought that nothing could be worse than that.
Well, I think for me it was mainly the sort of daily stress that went on for months. It was every day. It felt relentless, like almost like every hour was demanding something of me, and my experience was stress every day.
And the day after we closed, I was rushed into A&E for a back spasm. And that started the ball rolling of the diagnosis of myeloma. It took 3 months of waiting to hear what was going to happen during a pandemic when the deaths were going up on a daily rate. There was no good news coming in. The hospitals were closing certain departments. Hospitals were cancelling cancer patients. I was extremely lucky that I was on the top of the lists at UCLH and Guy's Hospital. And I was their first phone call of a handful of people to go in for treatment as soon as possible.
Just the circumstances that we were all in, the fact that we couldn't mix properly. I found it very difficult not being able to see my mum and only see her on Zoom because she lives on her own. So I found the main reason was because I had to work and had no childcare. Ultimately, that was an impossible situation. I guess there's the concept of what's happening and knowing people, this is very serious and people are dying and the NHS being under pressure. I knew that in my head, but day to day there was just so much to distract. I was so distracted with just getting through the day on a sort of domestic level. That was the main issue.
And they were updating me every month. The doctor that was there, the nurse that was there, that still was working during the pandemic. Because even during the stem cell harvest, quite early on, they were already half the team than they were. The labs were already half the teams because they had COVID. They had to isolate. They were vulnerable themselves. And to be told by your Prime Minister that you're a highly vulnerable person and calling out myeloma patients is just, it was horrible. Because 3 months later, you have the same government, the same Prime Minister reversing lockdown rules, knowing that you're highly vulnerable.
My main thing that I was interested in was like what the government was doing to respond to the situation, and I felt like, and my friends as well who are parents of small children felt, I think the main stress for me was I've never so tangibly felt the relationship between whoever's in power, and how it was such a tangible impact on my life. Like the stress was increased because I felt that I wasn't in safe hands, that I didn't have any faith in the people who were in a leadership position. And so I did feel like a sort of abandoned child in a way, and forgotten as a parent, as a woman, as a mother. I felt really forgotten.
And I'm still at home with my partner, completely isolated. Can't see family, can't see friends. Food has to be delivered now. My mum and dad at the front door with us 5 meters back in the hallway. All she wants to do is give me a cuddle. All my dad wants to do is to give me that hug to say, it's all going to be fine. They feel helpless. And it's hard. It was really hard.
And I know that my friends felt the same, and I think that, but yeah, maybe we have all been through something all of us, whether we're parents, whoever we are, living alone, living with people, whatever, we have all been through something together, haven't we? I mean, it depends, doesn't it? Like what was already happening for people, because I think if you didn't get much time at home, there have been a lot of benefits to the pandemic. A lot of men are really enjoying more time with their children, more than they had before, and women. We already had a life that gave us a lot of time together. So, but I think for a lot of people that's something really special that they want to hold on to. So it might be that this marks some really good change as well.
So in some ways, COVID helped me because we were more aware of any infections, of any dirt, of keeping ourselves cleaner. So all these germs would have been attacking my body when I'm at a low. I could have caught COVID whilst not knowing I had myeloma. My immune system would have been lower than normal. I would have been going around into the supermarket, into shops, into work on the tube. I could have caught COVID. That could have been the end of it. So I have to take the positives. I have to think that timing was just perfect for me at this point.
Actually, we wanted to support each other, and that was that. And it's kind of, I always thought that would be the case, but now I know it, that actually when things are tough, we can sustainably see a lot of each other, invest a lot in each other, and really, really sort of try and be there for each other, and over quite an extended period of time. And that feels really good. It feels quite special, actually, that I'm glad that I've had that experience, because without the pandemic I wouldn't have had that. I think there is some pride there for me that getting through last year, even though it could have been worse, and it was worse for a lot of people, I still feel like I personally was pushed to my limit. I think it was the hardest year of my life. And I think, I am quite proud of the fact that I've come through it. So I think I do feel a bit stronger in a way.
It was time to think about what we wanted to do, where we wanted to go in life, and what we were going to do when my health was back to a normal state, and once COVID has disappeared, if COVID would disappear. And it was great. It was quite nice. It was fun to talk about what we wanted to do in life, rather than worrying about a business or other people or money for the business, or worrying about what will people think if we do this or don't do that. COVID has changed my myeloma status, but I think it's made me stronger